Tiggy.
Yeah.
So, first off, I guess what is the part that you're having the hardest time with on this?
Of course, for the for the hand to kind of like come out and go up, it is my problem for now.
Okay, so here's what I do with the hands, right? So they come in and I cut them here, right? So I've got position, so I can hit P, and if I hold shift, I can open up another one, R, position or rotation. And all I did is I set my marker, right? And then I knew I was going to rotate it, 33 degrees. So I just typed in 33, and that rotated it over to here. And then I just had to move the position to where I wanted it. So let's see, I'll go ahead and duplicate this. I'll turn this off and hide it. So let's say so let's say I don't have any of this. Let's delete these. Okay. So now I got this thing, right?
Yeah.
So I got this hand, right? It's not moving anymore, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go forward until I get this thing to where it's at, right? So that's right there. That's the end point, right? So I'm going to do 33 because I know that's the rotation. Why do I know that's the rotation? Because it's the same rotation I use for this, for this, and for this. I use 33 for all. But now it's at a weird angle, right? It's up over there. So it's simple. Just position it over.
Okay.
And then bring it back. And just kind of line it up right. I was trying to keep my the thumb on that edge right there.
So wait, let me get it clear. Yeah, the greatest problem that I was having this morning was like these hands. How am I going to rotate it? I tried my best.
Rotate.
So yeah, I didn't know that it's gonna be like 33.0.
Well, so I didn't know it was gonna be 33 either until I rotated. What I did is I rotated the.
Good evening.
Yeah. It's up there. I rotated the telephone glass, right? I rotated this first until I knew this is what I liked. Like, this is the angle I want. I knew this is what I liked. And then I just looked at that. So if I just go to the telescope and I hit R, I rotated at 33. So now I know, hey, this is rotated 33. So that's how I will put sabe that this is how I will want that. If I don't rotate this not 33, I need to rotate the other ones.
All of the things for be 33.
And if we make them not the same thing, yeah.
Okay.
So that's how I don't sabe.
Okay.
But again, when I first started, I didn't know what that was. I had to rotate this before I able to sabe how like which one I want for which number I want for use.
Yeah.
But once I did that, now I know. Oops, Nancy. Okay. So then I just apply that to the hand, right? So I just go forward until the thing is open, and then I take the hand, I rotate the thing, but now you notice it doesn't fit all the way, right? So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to move forward one, and I'm just going to change the position. So I'm just going to use my arrow keys. First, I want to make sure I have the right thing selected. Okay. Now I'm just going to use the arrow keys just to keep it right where it's supposed to be. Right? Maybe come back a little bit. Come back a little bit. Go up. Come back. Go down a little bit. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah. And now. But also notice that I don't just stop. I don't just rotate and stop. I actually have a little bit of an animation that happens after. Remember how we talked about action and reaction?
Yeah.
Right? So if you look at this hand, right, it's in a position, and then actually comes back a little bit, and the fingers are sticking to it, but it's like it pulled really fast, and now it stopped, but the hand still kind of goes a little bit, right? So it's like, you know, if I'm doing this, yeah. So I just give it a tiny little bit of animation, just 1, 2, and then I bring it back to the same frames. Except for this hand I change to let go, and then this one starts moving. And then it lets go. And I let this hover for a second or two, I don't let it drop, and then I let it drop and slam down. Yeah, so that's kind of the movements of the hands, right? And that's all I did. Is I just I figured out which angle I want to use, and then after I decided the angle, I applied the same thing, the rotation for this one and
this one, and also this one.
Well, I don't do this one first. I don't do the telescope first.
You know, say you don't animate this position, like you animate the telephone first, yeah. But also this one and this one, they rotate together, yeah. Also that's the telephone, see. The hand they rotate to 33 degree also. This hand and this hand they rotate 33 degree, and also this they rotate to 33 degrees. So yeah,
but I don't first start with this one. So I start at what's another number I want for rotate, and then I just copy paste all the things. So. All the things. But again, the thing of like for this, I don't make the anchor point. The anchor point now, not the back.
Okay.
Here, because when I rotate, I want to rotate not the elbow, right? So I don't put the anchor point here. But if I rotate that, what happen? Like if I have this and a rotator, what will happen?
It will just go up.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't want this one to go up. I want this one to come down, right? So I need if it just go up, what do I need to do? I need to move the whole hand down.
Yes.
Forget the right rotation. And that's it. I'm also doing some more stuff with the, okay, so you start with this, I will delete.
So I see other thing again, like this hand, yeah, where
the finger.
The finger.
Yeah, I go show you this.
Okay.
But for the movement, for the rotation and the position,
so,
you get that?
Yes, I think it's clear for me now.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so I'm gonna delete this because I don't want to keep it around. So for this, what I don't do, I don't make, so this, you know, it's not composition.
Composition, yeah.
Yeah. So what I don't do, I put the hand in the composition and I use this thing, not the puppet tool. So how the puppet tool work, I click this. So how I work, okay, so here's what I go do.
Duplicate.
I go do this, yeah, duplicate. Off this one, let me on the effect them. I could delete this one as well. Okay. So let it be normal. Alright, so now what I go do is I'm just gonna go forward to 2 seconds, whatever, and this thing there, right? I take this thing and I just go pin, there, 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 there. Now, it don't need to be perfect for this, but I generally want to be able to follow the shape of the normal finger. Now, normal finger, you get plenty more joint. We get
so. Yeah.
You get plenty more joint, so you get 1 joint, 2, 3, right?
Yeah.
But this one I only give it, you know, the tip. So I'm not putting the joint here, I'm putting the thing there. And there's a reason for that. So I'm not doing it perfectly, but I'm getting close. I also go put one in the wrist, and I also want to put one back here. Why I want to do that? And I know what this for. Exactly. So I'm going to put one here, and now. Okay, so for the fingertip, right? For this one, I'm just making sure all this stays. I'm not really using this, but for the finger, I use.
Yes.
With the work some, what do you want?
Call him and he'll tell justice.
So now I will for
Okay. Animator.
and it's not the same. So if I go to the puppet tool, I will for open now the mesh,
Nice. Okay.
and then I will for open the deform, and we get all these pins. And this pin, they just this thing now. For make them quick, right? You can just click this and press U, and it will open up all the pin them. And you see, it's just not a keyframe. So I go say I'm gonna go before, right? Click on that mesh, and now I just move the finger, move the finger, move the finger, move the finger, and this one maybe I want the finger for come back small. So take them back, 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 and you can move these small. Not move these plenty, but move them small, and then player. And now you notice this. I'm gonna go back to the full screen.
Yeah. Yes.
Now the same motion, right?
Yeah.
Now this one you know fine because I know match the lens. So what I don't do for this one? Let me off this. I don't import.
This thing like that?
Yeah, I just copy and I paste it now. That way I will see the right size for Usami finger. It will be Usai Nida. Right? And then when I'm done, when I find how the animation you look, I off them, I pull up, and then now the hand, you reach out, you grab the thing, and then this, I have a let go, and you go follow it. And that's what we see now. The hand, you come in, and the thing, you get bigger. It's small motion, but it's there. Yeah? And just give you life, you like to do things small.
To the hand?
Yeah. And now I pull up. And then as I animate the puppet again, just for give that, as I go back, and I also push this one forward as it pulls back. So I move the position, right? Let me say for this one. I move the position, right? I move the position back. But then I open this and I move the finger forward. Right? Because I know I moved the whole thing back, but I want the finger forward to stay there. Right? Yeah. And then for this, I have a let go, like a lefty thing, and then this comes up, and then same thing there, I open up, and then I let it fall. And it fall. And we get the
lines.
The lines go calm, that way it goes. When we get the tree, the lines go. They're gonna go up, and we're gonna be good. So, yeah, so that's that.
Okay.
But that's not even the hard part, right? The hard part, the thing that took me about like several hours to figure out yesterday, because the illustrator he's not that, like, I don't think he's ever worked with animators before. And so his stuff's a little messy. So he's got a lot of extra like points. He's got a lot of extra like anchor points on his illustrations, which really just messes with the animation, right? Because it will jump from like 4 anchor points to like 20, and like it doesn't know where the anime does anchor points to. That's why we keep having that weird flippy thing that keeps happening. It's because he just has way too many anchor points. So I had to go into this thing and basically like remake or like a lot of his stuff to simplify the anchor points. Like for this box, right? So he's got this box,
How's it going?
Sound good. Right, so this box, he originally had like 9 anchor points making this box. Just the square box.
Okay.
There should be 4.
4.
I don't know why he had 9 on there, but he just did. So it made it really difficult to animate. But what I did, and this is the hard part, right? So I created a composition that I knew was going to be separate. And I knew I wanted to transform this flat one into this one, right? So once I don't fix all he changes them, but notice also it's not just for the whole box. I need to do for the box, this thing, this thing, and I don't need to do the same thing for this thing, 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 because they're all way different. So after I fix all of those, all right, then came the part of it actually doing the animation. And basically what I did is I had 2 things in here, right? I had this guy, right? So I brought in this one and I brought in this guy, right? And they're just I just brought in the illustrators, okay? So all I did, of course, is just go in, open the group, go to the path, make a marker, copy it, and then go to the same object, right? And paste it over there, right? And then, because I simplified it, then it was able to go from this to this, because I simplified all the objects, and it wasn't doing that flippy thing. Sometimes I would get it where it would do a flippy thing, right? And then to fix that, all I would have to do is, I'll just show you this in a simple way. Yeah, I'm just gonna really quickly just okay. Okay, convert to Bezier. Convert to Bezier, or else it won't work. Okay, so if I just went to here, right? Copy this, and then I come down to here. I'm going to go forward a little bit. I'm going to set a marker, and then I'm going to paste this, right? I will get rid of this ellipse. Okay, and now the ellipse is going to turn into the square, but it's doing a weird, like, spinny, flippy thing again, right? That's really strange. It shouldn't be doing that, right? So a way to fix this is when I click on this path, you see the square is where I get the 2 square them, right? This means this not the key value, the key square, right? It's the first one. It's the main one.
This one.
Right? Yep. But look what happens if I bring them forward. Where is square?
It come down.
So I will move this square, because they think this square and this square, you know, the same. So how I go change this was simple. I click this, right clicker, shape path, first vertex.
Set first
vertex. So it's saying that this is the first thing. Now when I do it, right, it's just taking this thing and saying, okay, so this will now be there. And I would have to do that with this as well. Sometimes it would break, sometimes it would work just fine, but there would be times in which I would have to open up the thing. And I'll just turn off all this just to keep it actually. Okay. There'd be times where I would have to go click on the path, and like there's your first vertex. But sometimes I'd go back here, and this would be like over there, and then it's gonna do like a flip thing, right? But if I do that, I can be like, all right, click on this, make it first vertex, goes before. That's fine. That's a perfectly good transition, right? Like everything's going to a thing that looks logical. This is going to here. This is going to here. This is going to this front one it works fine. But again, the problem before is that this would have like 7 different, like there would be like a thing here, a thing here, a thing here. There's one like 2 right next to each other. And so like when it does that, it knows that way where to put all the things. So it would start to put one over here, it would put one over here, the whole thing go, it'll go crazy. So that's how I had to fix that. But now that I fixed that, right, then I just have to do that copy paste. Okay. And then there's a couple things that aren't copy pasteable because they're not in that first one, like all of these lenses and stuff, right? Like, you know, you got this. Like all of this stuff, this isn't in here. This doesn't exist here, right? So all I had to do was basically make a keyframe here, right? And then I would just, I'd make a keyframe here, right? And then I'd go back to the start point, but then I just have this thing floating out there, right? So all I do, for instance, let's grab this one. Yeah. So for instance, this one, I would just go to path, right? And this might actually be helpful if I get rid of everything else. Okay. Let's do it for this one. So, for instance, so because this doesn't have a second thing to copy it, all I'd have to do is just take this, right? Copy this and delete it. And I'm just go here, right? I move the position to where it is, and then I just click on that little path. Zoom on in, and then I'll just click on this guy and just bring it in. Just bring it in. And I click on these things and just bring them in, make them as flat as possible. Just bring it in. And bring it in. Okay, so now there's a little thing there, but you can't really see it that much. But now it looks like it's kind of growing into position, right? And I had to do that for all of those elements, right? So each one of these, it could take me like, 2 minutes to do, but I need to do that for like 16 different things. So this one thing would take me like an hour to do. And this is, if you notice, this just for the front blue section. I still need to do for the orange section behind it, the orange section behind it, and the orange section behind it. But it's not too bad. I'm going to undo some stuff. Okay, there you go. So that's how I animated this. Turn them all back on. And then, when they're all on, it looks like this. Yeah. So now it looks like it moves 3D. But again, this is for the front, right? And this is why you always label everything, right? This is now for the front. I still need to do the same thing for this one. Right? So I did the same thing for this. And then, right, so if I open this, I do the same thing with the path. Then I just, from here to here.
So we get two things now. We get path, we get merge, path.
I did the path. And then sometimes I would do the position.
Positions, okay.
Right? But the main thing, now the path, and sometimes the position. That's it. Right? So then I done make these ones, right? So I get them, they work fine, okay. Now this one is easier because I only get two things. We get this dark line
So that
for the
line-
shadow, and we get this normal one. So this, each one took me 2 or 3 minutes for doa. So this took me, 6, 7 minutes, right? Not that much. But then once I had this, now I have to come in, I have to put these all together, right? So I have the front, which is this one, and then below it I get the middle, and the small one, right? And all this do is I animate this for move as this thing can move. That's it.
Right.
So I start with the front one, right? I do this one, I animate her. Right? So I bring it this way as a rotator. And then for this one, all I do is go to the end of the animation, right? And I just be like, okay, so where this one will be? Okay, I need to drag it now. Okay, this looks fine, it fit, perfect. And then I go to the next one and say, okay, this is the end of the animation where I need to drag it. It's that now, I need to bring it to here, right? And why here? Because it's the center of this one, and it look fine. And then same thing for the last one, right? And then I go to this one just for move ahead, and I don't reverse that. Right, so I right click, go to time, reverse time, right? Because all this thing, right, this motion is the same for reverser. I just need for playing backwards, right? So I don't need to do more animation. I just need for
just go and
reverse. That way I don't need for take all that time. All the time I don't do for this thing,
one, so you
right?
take back, say now it's
Exactly.
back.
So instead of doing like the animation for do other thing, well, why not just playing back? So it seems like that it will save you time. Because imagine if I don't have to do this whole thing again. It will take me 40 minutes, 1 hour again for this one thing.
These things.
I click the button 3 times, reverse the time. I'm done in now 1 minute. Okay, so that's it. And then really I'm moving between here and just getting the timing right. Just making sure that the keyframes line up. So now it pulls out, goes up and drops. And that's how I don't do this one. It's simple. It took me 4 hours, but it's simple. Yeah. And then we get this. So another thing you're able to do is time remap. You go glad for this. Sometimes it's better for make things slow, make them take longer, because it's easy for just right click, time, enable time remap. And now what can this go do? Or I can just able to add the keyframe. And so
it should be about gaining a deeper understanding of the world and how one fits
okay, so this na normal, but if I pull this now, go make them quick.
learning should be about gaining a deeper understanding. Learning should be about gaining a deeper understanding of learning should be about gaining deep.
So what I did is basically just said, hey, take this frame and this frame and just make them
fast,
closer together,
okay,
right? So, and what it's going to do that?
it will
Speed it up.
okay.
You can also do this in reverse. But reverse gets a little trickier, right? Because in reverse, I can make it slower, but what's going to happen? Well, now the keyframe, now the frame rate is going to be slower, right? It's going to, because it doesn't have more frames. It doesn't make those frames, right? So now your frame rate, like if I, you know,
Go. Okay.
delete this, it's fine.
Learning should be about gaining deeper understanding of the world and how.
I'm gonna undo all this. So let's say I want this to take a really long time. Right? So if I get this and I drag it all the way out here.
It should be about gaining understanding of the world and how one fits into it.
So sometimes it's better to start slow because it's easy to speed up. It's harder to slow down, right? But so for instance, this was moving too slow. Like these hands are coming in too slow, it's moving too slow. So I decided, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna speed this up, right? I'm just make this go faster. They come in faster. So see about how fast that is. Compare that to this. Like this one takes a grand total of what is that? 5 seconds.
5 seconds.
To do that. Where in the here we're at 5 seconds. We're at 9 seconds. So this only took like 4 seconds. 3.5 seconds. Right, so I was able to make it quicker. I didn't make it super fast, but fast enough that it's going to save us on the audio.
Okay.
And that's it. You get a question? I still like that. Boop.
Yeah, question. Come there. So, not to here, to the telescope here. So, I understand this one. I understand this one and this one.
Mm-hmm.
But here,
Mm-hmm.
so you did a lot of different things in there. I was kind of like lost.
Get the banks.
Yeah.
Okay. So for this one, I think to myself, how I gonna make this easy for me, right? So remember before, in the other one, I don't get all these layer them different, right? Yeah. So you had like the blue, you had to get the big yellow, the medium yellow, the small yellow. Yeah, I don't have them all there, right? But that go difficult for animate as one unit. And I want to animate like one thing. Because if I move one thing, well then I need to move the other thing. But if I move the other thing, I need to move them in the same way as the first thing I don't move, right? The wahala I go plenty. So what's not I go do? Just like this one. On this, so we get all these things. I get all these things, and I don't animate them. Yeah, but this animation, again, all these they go separate, right? So if I change one, you'll go change the others. Which this is supposed to be one object. So what I go do? I highlight them, I right click, and I say pre-compose, and I give in. And now this collapse all the thing into a composition. And then I able to move the composition like it one thing. Right? So instead of moving all these 4 things, I just need to move this one thing. Right? So now what should I go do? Well, first thing I need to do is that I need to animate this composition. Because I need to make these thing, I need to make the yellow commode. Right? So what I'm going to do, click opener, and then animator. And I just have this keyframe, and I just change the position. For this one, go forward, and then this one, commode, and this one, commode more, and this one, commode the most. Right? That's it.
So okay, still.
But this
Still not get the. I understand this one.
Okay.
I know this one. So we get different colors into this. Yeah. We get this one.
Mhm.
Yeah. Which is different color. We get this one. We get this one. And behind here we get another things them behind there. So if you go forward, fine. We get this. We get this. We get so that's gonna be difficult.
So again, what I don't do is I go think to myself, well, I can bring everything into this layer, but then I go get all these different layer down, right? The easy thing for me for do is for make a new composition. So I make this composition telescope front, and that now this blue one.
So telescope 3D.
Yep.
Front.
And I said 3D, that way I started this the one that you go tan, now this one. So I make the new composition, and I bring two things, right? The things I don't bring, now the flat Illustrator file, I don't bring now this file, and I don't bring this file. Remember how I get the two file them? They're different. So I open that, and what's I don't bring, and leave this shape there. I get the angle, and I get the flat, right? And now off the flat because I don't need that, right? Because I don't TV path. Now what I go do? Simple. I open the thing, go to the contents. I say, okay, this thing, this, now the same as this. I start with this, and this, and the same. So I want for this thing, for tan,
So this.
yeah, and make it like this. So what I go do? Simple. Let me just off this. So, I go before. I say, okay, this where I want the thing for stop. Opener, pat, click the thing, make me marker. And then I come back. Okay. And now I go down. I open the flat one. Because right now this thing before I don't do this, it look like this. Right? And I need to make it look like this one. So I go do, well, I get that, right? Come down here. This, now the same as this. I click the button. I make the thing. Hop here. Hop. I click. I paste. And then this, it turn to this. Now, sometimes they're not perfect, right? For instance, if you notice this thing, it come out small. It not should come out. This thing, it should be inside because it's not the shadow, and the shadow no for come out, right? But this happens so quick. Like, look at all this. It's out plenty. So technically, I should fix that, but it happens so fast that like you're not gonna notice, especially here. You notice that? Yeah, it's so quick you don't notice it. So I decided I'm not gonna take the time for fixing, right? But some things I did fix. For instance, that wasn't noticeable, but when I first did this animation, it's not perfect. This thing, it come out.
It come out so
And this one you notice in the animation.
yes.
Like if I go back to the full scene,
It come out.
you come out and you notice that.
Yes.
You don't notice this one, but you
Once I
notice this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I said, okay, what's I go do? Well, I need to fix this. So how I go fix it? Well, I come to here, go okay, go to the path.
Try for
I
bring
click
them
this,
in.
bring them in.
Okay.
Click this, I bring them in, and now you're okay. but now I come back here and it's still no okay, right? So now what I need to do, come here,
Fix them back.
click this, fix them back, bring it in, this, bring it in, and then I just need to go through until it fine, right? And I don't do this before, so I don't do it again. Just gonna do all that. So now I have these two keyframes that go fix them. Now I don't need to do this for all of them. For this one I had to do it for 3D things. 3D things that they know match perfect. But there's 10 things now. So 3 things for fix, and it take me. You saw how I don't do it. Took me 2 minutes for fix. It's fine, right? Again, but for some things like this, I just decide I go left. I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and I had to do that for just everything. I did it for this thing, and then next I need to do it for this one. So this thing are the same as this one, right? So I do the same thing.
Now, no say you use a part for do it on here or for make them big. Yeah.
Yeah. So I only do that for the ones that we know get the there for the first one, right? So some things, right? So this idea 92, this idea 92, this idea 92, and this idea 92. But this there. This there. For this one, what should I do is I set the marker and I pull this way, and then I just take the part,
Bring it.
flaps them, make them flat, and then I change the position. Because if I make them flat, it's still there, and I just move the position. Yeah, and I just keyframe them just like we do normal,
Yes.
right? And then when I play, like let me say, yeah, I will do this quick. Let me say, you want small thing, yeah. How I go do? I want another
Ellipse.
thing.
Circle. Ellipse.
Another circle, right? Let's just say. Take this down. Fill. Go match. Okay, right? This is what I want, right? I want this other circle, but now I get a problem, right? Fine. So what I go do? I come to the end, how I like it. I go to this ellipse.
Convert.
I don't think you need for converter, but I go do it anyway. Right? Convert, okay. Path, okay, and transform position. Right? And then I take them back to the front. Right? And now, what should I go do? I go to the path. And I just click this one. I bring them in at the middle. I click this, I bring them into the middle. And then I take this, the arm them, the bezel. And I just bring them in. And then I bring arm in. And then I click them off. No, but it's so small you're not going to notice it, right? So now, if I play them forward, I'll go look. Okay, now it's something. But the problem is, it's coming from the outside. I want it to come from Naya. So what should I go do? Simple. I go to here, position, and I just bring it right into, yeah, over there. And I play.
Same.
And now look.
Okay, I don't get them now.
You get that now?
I don't understand how clear. Okay.
It's simple, yeah? Like it's no complicated. You just need to do this thing for everything. That's the hard part. The hard part is it's not the thing. It's just you need to do it for
all the.
yeah. You need to do it for all these things. So, alright. Am I able to delete this one? You get that?
Yes.
You don't get no question.
No question.
So yeah, I just do that for. Now if I break this down, like we get this ring, I get this ring, I get this one, I get this one, and then I get this shadow now.
Yes,
So I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things. Now I have for 100. And these 4 copied parts. And you're fine. And I did that for this one, but I still need to do them for the yellow one now. But okay, this one is easy because I only get 2 things. I get the shadow and I get the box. So you're fine. And then once I have that, it's just in here. Right? So I animate this as one thing. So I take all them parts. I did the blue one and I did the yellow one. And I just want to bring them together. And I animate this as one thing. And then I take that one thing. I mean, I could probably clean this up, but you can see.
Yeah, I see a little.
Yeah, but it's so small and it happens so fast that I don't think anyone's gonna notice. You can see it right there a little bit, but it's such a small little thing. I don't think anyone's gonna necessarily notice.
Animation.
Any other question?
No question.
You submit everything? So tomorrow I go delete it.
Tomorrow
You do them back?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'll do that.
I'll be expected to.
So, all right.
Just do that tomorrow. So I want to engage myself on that tomorrow.
Okay.
And I will do it.
That's if we don't get the stuff from the illustrator. I really want this up because I want to finish this. We're on a roll.
Fine. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for the lectures.
No,
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Teach me.